Hey y'all, it's Farmgirl here. Man, it's been a while. Some of you know that I have actually moved into a proper farm. I've hung up my urban farmer hat and now I'm a legit bona fide farm girl on a farm, which also means that I've just been crazy busy. Not only is it busy season, but the move, the kids, and picking up a couple of projects locally, doing some installs for the North Texas Food Bank. Just been super busy, and I just wanted to pop in here because I just have a delightful neighbor who welcomed us to the neighborhood with a just beautiful bouquet of white hydrangeas. And I actually do not have any white hydrangeas. I brought over plenty of pink and blue ones. But as I was enjoying this plant, I let it go a little bit, the flowers, I let them go a little bit too long. And so I was getting ready to throw them out when I realized that I had unintentionally rooted these hydrangeas. So now I'm going to do a couple of things to get them up and growing well, and I'm actually going to plant them in my yard, and I can now enjoy white hydrangeas, and then when I have a new neighbor, I'll be able to welcome them to our neighborhood. So I just love that, and I also wanted to encourage you that if you, like me, have neglected a bouquet of flowers, take a second to look at them, because what happens when you take a cutting from a softwood plant, or even the new growth of a tree, if you take that cutting and you put it in water and you give it access to sunlight and you let it hang out for a bit, that actually is one way of propagating your plants to produce clones of your original plant. And so what I want to do to clean this up, because if I just let it go for forever like this, it definitely wouldn't grow. As you can see, the stem at this point has already started to die, but if you look at the new growth here, just at the terminal between the branch and the stem, this is a new node that's coming off. But since this tissue is all soft and destroyed, capillary action can't occur. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut this at a 45-degree angle. That's just because it gives you more surface area when you cut it that way. But we're going to cut this at a 45-degree angle. Nice, good pair of sharp scissors. And if you can see, once you get it back to that core, that white core, that's what lets you know that that part of the plant is alive and can actually pull up that water. Now, another thing that you'll want to do when you're intentionally rooting a cutting, you can certainly purchase a product known as root hormone. It's a powdered product that you can purchase at any nursery or even Walmart. But basically what that does is it just gives the plant a little bit more nutrition and energy to get rooted and growing. And we can do that just understanding how plants work. Plants utilize sunlight in the process of photosynthesis to make sugar. And that sugar is actually their fuel and their energy. But if we were to just put sugar water, or put these cuttings in sugar water, they would get that quick perk of energy, but it wouldn't have any substance and it wouldn't give them enough nutrition to grow. And so what I like to do is I just create my own kind of rooting medium, and that is some unprocessed, unbleached cane sugar to an equal ratio of worm castings, which I do produce on my homestead. I do have a couple of vermicomposting videos up on here if you're ever interested in getting started on that. It's a great way to just produce wonderful organic matter on your property, and you can use that just a ton of ways. But so I'm just going to take this unbleached cane sugar and equal ratio to worm castings. I'm going to mix it up in my mason jar here. It does help if you use a little bit of warm water, not hot, and certainly you want to let it cool before you put your plant in it. Just going to take one of these things and stir this up, and then once you've cut off all of the dead parts of the stem, you actually want to go ahead and cut off the rest of this dead growth. But you do want to leave anything that looks like it might have a hint of life to it, because what will happen is just like this cutting sprouted right here, it will actually, let me make sure you can see that, just like it has sprouted right here, it will also begin to sprout and leaf out right there and here. And so I'm going to continue doing that to the rest of my little guys. This one's a good example here. You can see how aggressive the growth on that is. And again, we need to cut off this dead part, because if we don't, this plant, he wants to live, but if his ability to uptake water is compromised, he's just not going to get very far. So we're gonna go ahead and 45-degree angle that. Do you see how that is not actually a clean cut, how there's some mastication in there? So even though there is some good growth here, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it back even more because I have growth here, I have more opportunities for growth here, and this plant can handle it. So do this real quick. Nope, I do have to take them. I'm gonna take them all the way back up. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. Do you see that solid white compared to, let me see, guy that, pardon me, that guy that flung off. Do you see how his core, see the difference? Come on, focus. Do you see how this has a little bit of a gray? It's just not that bright white. Go ahead and get to a good, bright white center, and your plant will have a better chance of actually rooting off of this. So I'm gonna stick these back in here. These are in my greenhouse right now, so I'm gonna let them hang out in here for a few days, and then I'm gonna go ahead and directly plant them into the ground once I start seeing a little bit of root growth. So I hope that that has been helpful and that maybe encourages you to look at your spent bouquets as an opportunity to add some new life and some interest into your garden. I know that I'm going to be enjoying these white hydrangeas for years to come. I'm so thankful for our new neighbor for sharing them with me, and I'm excited to be able to share them with new neighbors in the future. So I hope that that helps. I hope you're well, and stay safe out there, y'all, because I have been doing some heavy hot work, and the humidity will trick you. If you're outside working, you need to be drinking half your body weight in ounces of water every day to get you where you need to be. That's all I've got for today. Bye, y'all.